Have you ever wondered why millions of people blindly believe bizarre claims about products, even when those claims defy basic logic? Our psychological landscape is a complex terrain where marketing strategies exploit intricate cognitive vulnerabilities, transforming simple messages into deeply entrenched beliefs. The human brain isn't a purely rational computer, but a narrative-driven system constantly seeking patterns, simplification, and emotional coherence. Consumer myths aren't random accidents. They're meticulously engineered psychological constructs designed to bypass our rational defenses. Marketers have become sophisticated architects of perception, understanding precisely how to craft messages that resonate with our deepest cognitive biases. Every compelling product narrative taps into fundamental psychological triggers, creating belief systems that feel more like personal truths than manufactured narratives. Confirmation bias plays a crucial role in perpetuating these myths. We're neurologically predisposed to embrace information that aligns with our existing worldview, creating echo chambers of belief. When a product claim feels familiar or validates our pre-existing assumptions, our brain releases neurochemical rewards that reinforce those beliefs. This neurological mechanism makes us less likely to critically examine information that feels intuitively correct. The most potent myths blend scientific-sounding language with emotional resonance, creating a veneer of credibility. A supplement claiming to activate cellular regeneration sounds infinitely more compelling than might help you feel slightly better. Our brains crave sophisticated explanations, preferring complex narratives to simple truths. This cognitive preference allows marketers to construct elaborate mythologies around relatively mundane products. Social proof amplifies these myths exponentially. When we perceive that a significant number of people believe something, our tribal instincts kick in, making us more likely to adopt those beliefs. Online reviews, testimonials, and social media endorsements create powerful psychological pressure that transforms individual opinions into collective truths. We're fundamentally social creatures seeking validation through shared experiences. The halo effect further complicates our perception, causing us to transfer positive feelings from one product aspect to its entire ecosystem. A beautifully designed smartphone doesn't just look good, it unconsciously suggests superior internal technology. This cognitive shortcut allows brands to leverage aesthetic appeal as a proxy for functional excellence, blurring the lines between perception and reality. Emotional storytelling represents another powerful myth creation mechanism. Neuroscience reveals that narrative experiences activate different brain regions compared to pure factual information. Brands that craft compelling stories trigger neurochemical responses like oxytocin and dopamine, creating memorable experiences that feel more authentic than raw data. A well-constructed commercial doesn't just sell a product. It sells an entire emotional landscape. Understanding these psychological mechanisms isn't about condemning marketing strategies, but about developing critical consciousness. By recognizing how our brains process information, we become more discerning consumers. Each myth becomes an opportunity to examine our own cognitive processes, to understand the complex interplay between emotion, perception, and belief. The most effective defense against psychological manipulation is meta-awareness. When encountering a product claim, pause and ask, what emotional need is being targeted? What psychological buttons are being pushed? This reflective approach transforms us from passive consumers into active, critically thinking individuals who understand the deeper mechanics of persuasion. Ultimately, knowledge represents our most powerful protection. By illuminating the hidden psychological mechanisms that create and sustain consumer myths, we reclaim our agency. We move from being unwitting participants in elaborate narrative constructions to conscious architects of our own perceptual experiences, capable of distinguishing between genuine value and manipulative storytelling. Every single day, you're being manipulated by invisible psychological tricks that turn you into a willing consumer zombie. What if I told you that most of what you believe about product choices is a carefully constructed illusion designed to hijack your brain? Welcome to Mind Games, How Consumer Myths Hijack Your Brain, a journey into the dark art of psychological manipulation that transforms rational thinking into blind purchasing behavior. Consumer myths aren't accidents. They're precision-engineered psychological weapons. Take the classic myth of premium equals quality, a narrative so deeply embedded in our collective consciousness that we automatically associate higher price with superior performance. Neuroscientific research reveals something shocking. Our brains are hardwired to interpret price as a proxy for value, even when objective evidence contradicts this assumption. Consider the smartphone industry. When Apple launches a new iPhone at $999, most consumers don't analyze its actual technological specifications. Instead, they unconsciously equate the astronomical price with superior engineering. This isn't rational decision-making. It's a cognitive shortcut our brains deploy to simplify complex purchasing decisions. Marketing experts understand this psychological vulnerability and exploit it ruthlessly. Cognitive psychologists call this phenomenon price anchoring, a mental mechanism where our perception of value becomes irrevocably tied to an initial price point. Brands strategically set high initial prices to create a perception of exclusivity and quality. Your brain doesn't perform a cold, analytical comparison. It experiences an emotional response that feels like logical reasoning. The second profound myth we'll deconstruct involves brand loyalty, that irrational attachment consumers develop towards specific products. Neuroscientific studies demonstrate that brand loyalty activates the same brain regions as religious devotion. When you passionately defend your preferred smartphone or automobile brand, you're not making a rational choice. You're experiencing a quasi-religious emotional experience. Marketers have transformed brand engagement into a sophisticated psychological manipulation technique. They create narratives that transform products into identity markers. Apple doesn't just sell computers. They sell a lifestyle, an ideology of creativity and innovation. Nike doesn't merely manufacture shoes. They sell the concept of athletic achievement and personal transformation. Your brain craves simplification and narrative coherence. Complex decisions become overwhelming, so psychological shortcuts emerge. These mental heuristics, mental rules of thumb, allow rapid decision-making, but simultaneously make us vulnerable to sophisticated marketing strategies. Confirmation bias ensures we selectively perceive information that reinforces our pre-existing beliefs about brands and products. Consider the wellness industry's most pervasive myth: the notion that expensive supplements guarantee health optimization. Most consumers cannot distinguish between scientifically validated nutritional interventions and cleverly marketed placebos. The premium pricing creates an illusion of efficacy, triggering what psychologists call the expensive treatment effect, where higher cost implies greater medical potential. Social proof represents another powerful psychological mechanism driving consumer behavior. Humans are inherently tribal. We seek validation through collective behavior. When marketing campaigns showcase mass adoption, our primitive brain interprets this as a safety signal. If everyone is buying this product, it must be safe and valuable, becomes an unconscious decision-making framework. Digital platforms have amplified these psychological manipulation techniques. Social media algorithms create echo chambers that reinforce consumer beliefs, making myth propagation faster and more pervasive than ever. Targeted advertising leverages vast datasets to construct hyper-personalized narratives that feel intimately compelling. The most dangerous consumer myth isn't about a specific product. It's the overarching belief that we make purely rational purchasing decisions. In reality, our choices emerge from a complex interplay of emotional triggers, cognitive biases, and unconscious psychological mechanisms. Awareness becomes our primary defense against manipulation. By understanding these psychological dynamics, consumers can develop critical thinking skills that transcend marketing manipulation. Question your assumptions, demand empirical evidence, and recognize that your brain is constantly being nudged toward predetermined conclusions. True consumer empowerment begins with psychological self-awareness. In this intricate dance between marketing strategies and human psychology, knowledge truly is power. Every purchasing decision represents a battlefield where your rational mind confronts sophisticated psychological warfare. Stay vigilant, stay curious, and never surrender your critical thinking to the seductive narratives of consumer mythology. Have you ever wondered why millions of people blindly believe bizarre claims about products, even when those claims defy basic logic? What secret psychological mechanisms transform marketing messages into unshakable beliefs? Today, we're diving deep into the hidden mental landscape where consumer myths are born.